CNBC presents Power Lunch with Bill Griffin and Michelle Caruso-Cabrera.
Coming up next, the results of an executive survey of North America's largest corporations from a company called Wendover and Global Insights. They're looking at future expectations for IT spending. Where's it going?
Wendover Corporation is a subsidiary of EDS, along with Global Insight, which is a financial and economic forecasting company. They have released their latest Information Technology Spending Index, which tries to signal what will happen in the future with what has been a key missing piece in this economy, the amount of capital spending that has been lacking the last few years, and a good deal of that has to do with information technology spending. Larry Dillon is the CEO of Wendover. He joins us today from New York to talk about the latest data. Good to see you again. Welcome back.
Thank you, Bill.
Tell me about how you compile. I know this index has been compiled since 1999. Who do you talk to? How do you compile this?
Okay, first, we're actually not a subsidiary of EDS. We're a privately held company. But the way that we compile this information is we survey 300,000 IT decision makers in the top 80,000 businesses in the U.S. and the U.K. and basically ask them what kinds of investment they're going to make in IT spending. Part of our business is generating sales leads for the IT industry, and we generate about $3.6 billion in IT projects before they've decided on a vendor.
I beg your pardon on the EDS thing, but we just took it off your website, Wendover.com. Wendover, a subsidiary of Information Technology Paysetter EDS.
Right. There are two Wendover Corps.
And you're not this one.
No, that's Wendover.com. Ours is WendoverCorp.com.
All right.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. You don't have to be sorry about anything. You know who you are. At any rate, you saw a decline of 14% in the latest reading on this, didn't you? That's correct.
The index dropped to 37.6. We indexed it at 100 back in the fourth quarter of 1999.
And what does it mean that you haven't seen an increase at all in this in the last 4 quarters, especially when you consider that, as you said, you've been compiling this since 99, so it doesn't really have that long a track record. It hasn't been through a full cycle yet, has it?
Well, Global Insight has done, which is one of the premier financial information and economic forecasting companies in the world, it's done a correlation analysis of our index and what actually happens to IT spending.
Right.
And there's a very strong correlation. I also think it's consistent with all the cost-cutting that's been going on in corporate America to increase profits.
And as I said before, this big part of capital spending in the economy is roughly 40%, isn't it?
Yeah, 40% of all capital expenditure is on IT spending. So if you can get a glimpse into IT spending as well as across different sectors, you can get an idea of how corporate America feels about the future, because we all vote with our pocketbooks.
In your data, you drilled down even further in some of these. Where is the greatest, I don't want to say weakness, but just the most pessimism when it comes to expectations for more IT spending in this economy right now? Which sectors do we see that?
Well, in terms of industry sectors, the real estate, we can measure different sectors based on project type or industry sector.
Right.
The real estate sector took the biggest hit this quarter with a 45%, it's the retail sector, took a 45% decrease in its proposed spending in IT.
And where are we seeing the greatest hope for an increase of some magnitude?
Well, no surprise, the real estate sector is up quite a bit. It's up over 30%, followed by communications, which is up 6%.
Why is real estate a surprise? I mean, that's been a big part of our economy lately.
Right. Well, I don't think that's a surprise. I think you're exactly right that it is consistent with what's going on with the real estate industry.
With the rise in interest rates, I wonder how much that's going to be softened, huh?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah. So overall, what we're saying here is this key component of the economy, we're still not seeing signs of life, so to speak, right?
Well, I think it's consistent with what corporate America is doing in terms of cutting costs to raise profitability.
Mr. Dillon, good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Larry Dillon, the CEO of Wendover, which has absolutely nothing to do with EDS, joining us from New York.